Jack's like, hurry up, get in there. Let us play some normal poker. Do have Jack-8 offsuit. I mean, kind of wants to get it in to kind of get that big blind ante, you know?
Yeah.
I don't fault him. This is kind of tricky for Jack-10 suited because
Yeah.
he kind of wants to play, but then there's so many players that behind you. Does he want to be the one that kind of tries to get it in? But Jack-10 suited, like, it's not always crushing in this spot.
Yeah, I think you just let this be, you know.
He's going to make the call.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
interesting. I mean, there's the thing about the collision effect, right? Like, you're not that incentivized, I don't think, to really fight for this pot because you have 25 big blinds to start the hand. You know, you're getting that pay jump so often if you just let Dong Chen bust. But hey, dominating with the Jack-10 suited. I mean, Jack-10 suited is a hell of a hand.
It's pretty amazing find. Action now on Jeju Wong. Not sure what his whole cards are, but he seems quite interested in trying to figure out what does Damir Zhugralin have, who actually clicked it with Jack-10 suited.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
he's
know.
queen.
Yeah, because this should be pretty strong, in my opinion, from Damir, right?
And that's why
That's why
he's tanking of ace queen.
Yeah, yeah.
It's actually quite disgusting.
He might make a big fold here.
I wouldn't fault him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fault him if he kind of clicks it again too.
Yeah.
Overcall, I think it's might be a thing.
Call, I think a call is the play here. You know, I don't think that Damir is going to attack dry side pots. It's too big of a hand. I think you're leveling yourself a little bit to convince yourself to make some big, massive pre-flop fold.
All right, so he
Yeah.
does call. Now, there
like
will
it.
be a little bit of a side pot just because Damir actually clicked it rather than cold called. Okay, so Wong did not realize there was a click, so he's going to deposit the other 450,000 on top. Changes things a little bit, right?
Yeah.
我最后他不来，单挑跑马灯，
对，
我可得希望2家呀，
两家翻3倍嘛。
你希望2家。
他本来也这样，
对你本来那个
一点也不多，
对呀，3倍啊，你3家4倍，
胜率降低了。
下地太多，我跟你
他本来也这样来的，他本来是 over call 的，他看到那边 call 了，没看到位。
Chen Dong's in trouble. 3 ways.
Advantage, Kazakhstan.
Even this spot is a bit uncomfortable for Jack-10. Looks like he's gonna bet out small and just pray
I don't know if
Wong
they can do
doesn't
that, but
put
we can
aggressive
try.
action in. Wong's got 2 overs with some backdoors position, and it's quite a big pot already.
Yeah. Only getting bigger.
你想要什么我给你喊。想要什么？
Dong's like, I've got
Yeah,
top
Dong's
pair, you
like,
guys
I
are betting?
Yeah, what the hell, man? Yeah, now between the main pot and the side pot, we have over 5 million out there. Damir just has 4.3 back. Wang should have a pretty strong range here. You know, hands that you're beating, I guess, exactly ace queen with the ace of clubs, pocket tens. But the kind of hands you're losing to, pocket nines, ace jack, maybe king jack suited comes in for 3 blind all in.
Great development for Damir.
Yeah. And unless an 8 comes on the river, we should have our 9th place finisher.
没有 chopper，
Such an impressive performance in this preliminary event from Dong Chen.
Not look like this.
GG.
River is the deuce of clubs.
Wow, I mean, that hand could have played in many different ways. Imagine ace queen reshoves. Then Dong Chen is still
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
You know, and very, very interesting hand, but we do have our first elimination.
Okay, now I'm.
Dong Chen was kind of expected to be that guy.
Yeah.
Be careful on poker rock.
Yeah.
9th place
Okay.
finish.
Do you want to
Yeah, 6-figure score. He'll take it. Good start to the series
How many?
for Dong Chen. Really liked what he brought to this opening event. The varsity jacket, the swag, the little intricate 3-bet bluffs against 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞. I mean, he was playing real great. Just got a bit unlucky there, I think, towards the end of the day. Ran out of lives, ran out of chips. But should be proud of his performance, I think.
I mean, like I can't.
Paulius folding under the gun. Oh, hello. Blackjack once and 2 times.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Oh my, this is bad for Hong Jun Zhao.
Yeah, and it feels like an outrageous amount of chips, but it's only 26 big blinds effective. I mean, I think
2 for
𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞's going to know he needs to play a bit cautious because of the implications of getting stacks in against Damir. Only really going to be calling off with better, maybe some ace-king combos.
Well, you can never fault him if he
No.
happens to get 2 jacks. in.
Yeah.
And jacks obviously is a favorite against ace-king, and it has fold equity. The thing is, Damir, he hasn't really been out of line, I believe.
Yeah.
This is uncomfortable. Jacks is so strong. Maybe we call and just see what develops. Maybe we continue against non-ace-king boards.
Yeah, I think.
Folding seems criminal.
Yeah, I
But
think,
would be right.
I think call might be the
The main
might be
play.
the move, might be the main play.
All right, does go with call.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of boards where he just still loses all of the chips. China, you
Wow.
got top set.
Poor Damir.
Kazakhstan going down here.
One of the Triton regs doing everything he can to fight off all of these badass Chinese players.
1950.
Just gets wild coolered. Wild coolered. Top set against the overpair of aces.
I think Zhao just knows his opponent has the overpair right now.
Yeah, but just in case, I mean, boy, are you ever high up in your range here.
All right, there's the call.
Yeah, I mean, on the off chance Zhugralin has an ace-king, you want him to
course.
turn a king or an ace, for sure. Look at this pot. The pot is now 10 million chips. Damir with just 6.9.
Yeah, this 6.9 million is going in. It's got to protect with that 9 coming in
Yeah,
case you're up
Damir,
against 10s.
Damir doesn't love the 9, right? I mean, it has now filled in pocket 9s, but still just too strong. You expect your opponent's going to have 10s a lot of the time. Sometimes, you know, maybe an ace-jack suited or something like that.
Ambitious Jack 10.
Yeah.
It's
Damir's
too
no
much
straight.
in there.
Yeah, there's too much in there. This is an all-in. And you got to be kidding me.
I mean, what if your opponent has like some queens that's playing cautiously
Yeah.
pre, right? I just don't see how he doesn't jam and get stacked in this spot. All in and snap.
Yeah, he hates to see that.
He knows. He knows when he got snapped.
Yeah, yeah, of course. That's not a king jack snap.
一样，咱这个 American 跟你有关系。
That's this is my day. I am
我没有玩就
𝐽𝐮𝐬𝐽.
等合牌发完，
He's covered me.
然后再发完。
What a chip lead this will be. Just has to dodge the 2 remaining aces. And we'll be all the way up to the better part of 27 million.
All right, well, let's see if he can hold. Very likely, and he does.
Yeah. Our 8th place finisher.
Cold deck.
Cold deck. Really disappointing finish for someone who keeps improving, keeps on showing up to these Triton events. Starting to get real close. But just a real bad run of luck there for Damir Zhugralin here in Jeju.
Damir started the hand 3rd in chips, and he's going to have to take this cash. Moving up his earnings, which was 500,000, now closer to 630,000 or so. Brutal.
You know, we talked about made up about what 25% of the 23% of the field, and here they are with, you know, 60% of the remaining players. Pretty impressive stuff. Quite a debut, Jeju 2025.
Chance for Nikita to try to take down the blinds. 9 bigs on the button.
Yeah.
Mandatory jam.
Pull.
Oh, ace queen's in there. Snap call.
跟撕了，
No
We
hesitation.
could be down to
and
6.
and a king folded
这肯定要泼的。
in the big blind by Zhen Chen.
Nikita Kuznetsov playing a solid game as the short stack. He's at risk. Needs a king or jack. What is that? Wait, what the?
It's the capybara that made an appearance earlier as, yeah,
No good.
close to dead. 3% for Nikita to survive, or we are at our final 6.
GG.
And that is going
GG.
to do it, yeah.
Unlucky. You sir.
I'm throwing that animal on the floor.
Great performance from Nikita. Never really was able to get sort of a big chip stack going, but was very patient, constantly made good decisions, and got out of here with a decent 6-figure score to start his series.
That 6-figure score is $182,000 for 7th place. Not a bad payday considering the buy-in was just $15,000.
I mean, hey, that's about 12 buy-ins. It's pretty impressive stuff. So, Randy, we made it.
Did make it.
There's
We
a
don't
little
have Kuznetsov though.
little Kuznetsov B-roll again. Well, he tried to use the power of the capybara, but no chance with that run out.
Let's go. Oh, you showed this ace. What the next 10 raises you didn't show?
我 A K 了结他了，但是 A 圈
Can't even show a king, you know. But I know where you're coming from. He feels like he's been a bit active and he's trying to hopefully preserve some image. This is quite a bad hand, but does he have the appetite? Yeah. Okay. This 𝐬𝐫𝐽𝐬's got everything, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Jack 4 offsuit. Right on the heels of having shown the ace, all of a sudden, a completely different look as the Robbie takes us upstairs. Queen 10 suited this time for Weiran Pu. And what's the VPIP on Zhao right now? Well over 50%.
No, it's
Excuse
way more.
me.
It's like closer to 90%. He folded King Jack offsuit last hand. He's had enough. He's like, there's just no way. There's no way he has it every hand. An ace king for Jozoff. What bad timing is this for Weiran Pu?
So brutal. He and Jozoff down toward the bottom of the chip counts. Pu knows at the VPIP levels he could be targeting the opener, but this jam over the top of him bodes so poorly as the snap fold comes in from Zhao. And we're off to the races. The good news for Weiran is he's got 2 clean cards. The bad news is he's a 3-2 dog.
不冲突。
This is short stack versus short stack. One of them will have a healthy one after this hand.
Jozoff over to Israel for a little love.
我跟你们也都不
Obviously,
同
the covering stack, not at risk, but
This is why
he
we
would
have
love
this.
to secure the pay ladder and bring us to 5-handed action. This we
然后呢
know.
又
This
跑
one
出
lost yesterday, no?
He's
It's
back.
unlucky.
What?
This unlucky.
Yeah.
Yes.
The capybara has
No,
returned.
no, you know why? He has a backpack now.
Oh.
To the flop we head. Wow. Jack 9-8 with a couple of hearts.
I flop Jack 9-8 2 hearts.
It would be very difficult for Weiran Pu to lose this pot.
I need
Blame
like,
me if he does, but he has
10
this
without a
thing
heart.
all but locked up. And forgive me, I was under the impression that the covering stack was Jozoff's. Instead, ever so slightly, Weiran Pu was the covering stack, Randy, and
Yes.
therefore, on this turn, where Jozoff draws dead, he is showered in 6th.
That hamster is going to the trash can, I'll tell you that. It did not
这么久
work.
都还没有到，还没有到。
That was
终于
brutal.
来了哈。
终于来了哈。
对。
Yeah, speedy exit.
Demoralizing, but if there's any solace, it's that the hand played itself.
Me and Team China.
Jam, rejam, it's ace king. You win some, you lose some, but you're not going to lose sleep thinking maybe there's something that you could have done differently. And for Michael Jozoff, obviously, this result is quite a bit different than the lack of results that he had last time that he joined us at the Triton Super High Roller Series here in Jeju in 2024. Just 1 cash in 9 attempts, an expensive outing, picking up 43,500 already significantly.
He needs to understand that maybe I just kind of let Zhao do all the damage and then he'll get the heads up and, you know, didn't play for that big prize. But even then, Paulius is not that far ahead of the 3rd and 4th place stacks, only by a couple big blinds. I mean, at least this is suited. You know?
4 high on the button and an ace jack for Weiran.
Gotta jam. Just the frequency is too high. Just it's impossible for him to have it every single hand.
I mean, but look, Zhen Chen has 13 bigs.
All in.
You have 22 bigs. He is going to jam. It would be such a disaster if all of a sudden you did run into it, though. And he has. Not against Zhao, but against Yuzhu Wang.
How unlucky is this? But don't forget, last time he ran into Ace King, he got there.
This is a very different proposition as he's dominated. And Buddha is deployed.
有牌就接没关系。
3-4 suited is relinquished, and we're off to the races. Unfortunately for Weiran Pu, this race is one in which he is very severely handicapped. 20 million plus chip pot. He does cover ever so slightly, but he rates to be sitting on crumbs when the dust settles on this pot. Can he make that 24% equity come to life?
K 看到了，
Doesn't look like it.
这个后门黑桃
Jack
了
of spades does work. Can he pick up a flush draw or a Broadway draw? No, so he draws dead.
It's not over.
对，还有一点儿。
我还赢了，进去我顺子。
哦，你还早一点儿。
That was interesting. They both got on their feet. Did Weiran not know that he was the covering stack?
You just feel so defeated when you lose like 9 million. It's like he's almost out of the tournament, right? Just too big.
Maybe Wang thought he was the covering stack, and so he was going to go over and kind of shake Weiran Pu's hand and wish him well. No need, of course. At least not yet. But when the accounting is completed, Weiran Pu is going to be sitting on 3 bigs. There it is, 1.3 million. Cards back in the air now. Queen Jack for Paulius.
There was a time when he would open that. I think given what's happened to Fountain Table, he's been 3-bet 3 times already by Zhao. He's just like, you know what? I'm going to sit it out. I'm going to wait the short stacks out now.
All in.
Well, Zhao didn't sit it out. And now he's going to have to spin the wheel again with Weiran, because it's only 800,000 more to make the call after the jam with ace-8.
大哥昨天做过功课了。昨天
All
做
right.
过功课了。
This is the 4th time,
你都做功课啊，
Randy.
不做功课我怎么弄？
It's tough to flip a coin and come up heads or tails 4 consecutive times. Now, granted, these aren't 50-50 propositions.
没问题，开得好。
As you can see, a significant advantage for Weiran this time, but nevertheless, it is improbable. But now, the improbability is Hongjian Zhao's to endure on an 8-4 tray board. He does not have a spade, but he does now have a wheel gutter as he trades 3 jacks for 4 deuces.
差一点。
No cider, but not the one that will vanquish Weiran, whose resiliency continues.
Live once more. Look at Paulius like, seriously? Just die. Why?
200。
These are big pay jumps that are being missed. 309,000 is guaranteed. Get to 4th, get $395,000.
Plenty of all-ins. Plenty of players have been covered. Everyone is doubled, though.
Aces.
Come
King's last hand.
This is insane.
And he's changed to pre-flop sizing. Gone in for a full min raise this time, rather than slight north. This is actually going to get the Jack-8 of clubs likely to continue.
Just 4.3 million back, but it is enough hand at one more big blind getting this price to continue. Weiran knows it, so to the flop we go. Treacherous waters. Ace in the window, 2 clubs. It's a pair and a flush draw against top set. Car crash. A brisk min c-bet. Weiran has just 3.5 million back. Randy, how do you get it in there? You just play passively?
I think you could check raise. He's going to go passive and check call.
Very fortunate to be drawing live.
Oh,
now
it's
he's
2
got
pair.
2 pair. There is no escape.
It's not over yet, though. He's got clubs still that he can hit. But stacks are going to go in here on the turn now.
Not drawing dead, but a full house doesn't cut it. It is only the flush.
All in.
Complete setup spot. He decides to check and then get the last 1.1 in there.
这个转牌应该赢了，但是我还有
Of course, he's beaten into the pot. This deck hath chosen violence. But as you mentioned, Randy, it isn't over yet. This 11.4 isn't locked up by Yuzhu Wang. He's got to fade a club. Can Weiran pull the rabbit out of the hat once more? No. And at long last, the gridlock of 5-handed action is broken. 5th time, not the charm for Weiran Pu. As this all in
好好打，好好打，好好打。
Oh, I like this.
polishes him off.
你看我送
See
给你的，
Wang
送给他了。
promptly over there
正常。
to show love. Paulius and Zhen Chen with
加油加油！
somewhat more tepid salutations, but nevertheless, sporting.
啥情况？你一直短码没死啊，现在短码
The gyros were issued from Weiran Pu, cashing $309,000 in this 15K opening event.
Yep, leaving behind a healthy ladder for the rest of the field, who are now assured 395K. He hung around for a while, Randy. Multiple occasions on which we thought maybe his time had come, but ultimately it was a set-up hand. Set of aces. What about the dog track?
No, and not the lion track or whatever.
I don't think there's any lion. What is this, Gladiator 2? They're, what about the racetrack? Like cars? No?
I don't think so.
No?
No. Why? What are you trying to get at?
Just, you know, whether or not there's certain forms of gambling that you're addicted to
Okay,
that we've yet to explore.
Have you ever been to the carnival games with the little horses? You throw the ball in the hole and they race.
1000% Circus.
Yeah, yeah. I played that one.
You
Into
ever-
that track.
You ever grab a ball from the unattended slot next to you so that you get 2-ball action on those
Jesus,
things?
You're grimy.
Listen, bro, when you're trying to win stuffed animals, it's every man for himself out there.
Would you
Pocket
just take your
nines.
opponent's ball and throw it away?
No,
or
no, there's
something?
no one there. So, you know.
You having your friend like yell at some kids while they're playing so they can't play properly? Man, you're a real scumbag sometimes, aren't you?
You know, we're not yelling at the kids. We're just outfoxing them. Meanwhile, outflanking the nines is Paulius with king queen. He's 3-bet to 7 million, and this is a little uncomfortable. Randy, you know, Paulius.
I think this just goes in. Nines is nines after all for what? 15 big blinds?
He agrees with you. Jams, this is not what Paulius wanted to see, but the 7 million obviously was too much of his chips to do anything other than call it off. And let's be fair, when you hear all in come through pretty quickly, you're happy this isn't Queen's Plus or Ace King, Ace Queen.
Agreed.
So 2 clean overs in a 26 million chip pot, the biggest I think we've seen so far here at this FT. 10-7-5. Paulius needs paint, and he needs it in a hurry. That's the look of a man trying to ward paint off this board. As the nines are hanging on.
Well, it has paint, but not quite the one just yet.
Nines turning into blockers to the now newly acquired open-ender Paulius. 27%. Can he find the 9 queen king or ace? Yes! No.
It's small.
See you in Macau. Yes.
So the Lithuanian vanquished in 4th place, Randy, and I don't know how to tell you this, but there's one flag that flies proudly.
Chinese domination.
4 players left, 4 members of the delegation. How about that?
他这牌没有推的必要。
And how about a handsome 395,000 headed Paulius's way? Add that to his 151,000 in career Triton earnings that he picked up.
对，刚才你
Went 1 for 6 last time out in Jeju. 39th in the 100K main event. 4th here in the 15K. At the end of the day, didn't put a foot wrong, Randy.
No, and he actually put himself early in the goings, kind of got that 4-bet jam through against our chip leader, but then later it kind of quieted down a bit. Eventually took his shot with king queen, but couldn't down the 2 nines.
But you can win the blinds without committing your whole stack.
I agree. He's got aces. That's a good start.
Not the first time he's had him here at this final table either.
Obviously not going to open rip it. This hand is too good.
He is going to open, though, and the sizing, 2.2. Uh-oh.
That's a monster hand, 3-handed.
Ace queen suited. You wouldn't fault Zhen Chen for stepping in it here.
7 million.
And he does 3-bet to 7 million as the pin is pulled in this grenade.
Well, if Yuju Wong thinks his opponent is strong, obviously he's going to rip it in there and just get it in now.
Is that because he is very comfortable with the idea that 3-betting to 7 million, Zhen Chen doesn't have any folds? Apparently, yes, as he rips it. A snap call from Zhen Chen, and obviously he nods his head, recognizing that in this particular exchange,
没想到冤家牌。
he is the bug and not the windshield.
Massive favorite to get to heads up. Ace is looking amazing.
Boy, this is the first occasion on which the gravity of this moment feels as though it is weighing on Yuju Wong, whose aces sit so pretty. 9-7-4, no diamond on board. You cannot blame Zhen Chen for demiking here.
Needs to dodge running queens.
0.3%.
That's it.
Well, when you asked the chat, Randy, who they thought was going to hoist the trophy, that's the man that a majority of the respondents felt was the best remaining player and the most likely to do just that. And no sooner did they answer than Zhen Chen was vanquished. Through no fault of his own, of course, an unmerciful deck, a cooler. But no better way to warm you up than $500,000 in payout here at your first ever Triton Super High Roller Series event. And there's many more days left for Zhen Chen to leave his mark on this festival, as Yuju Wong will take a better than 2-1 chip lead, shorter than Yuju Wong, who mostly compiled his chips elsewhere at the table. But I gotta say, I haven't really seen any deviation in terms of his affect or his playing style now that he is out-chipped.
Yeah, you're right about that. He didn't really have a big demise, you know, like you said. Yuju Wong got most of his chips from the other opponents that are now eliminated.
all in.
He's announced all in. Chips just going now?
2.6 million, the open sizing, and yes, they do go in now.
Oh
Yuju
my.
Wang jammed it, and Hongjun Zhao is in a wonderful spot here, looking to double right into the chip lead.
我刚刚也是 A9。
Yuju Wang doesn't look nervy. He'd love a chop, given the landscape here. This is a 57.2 million chip pot with ace-9 and ace-4 ripping 5-7-8. The 4 is still the only path forward, given the 6 would give Zhao the better straight. But if that 4 were to show up and hold, the title would be awarded. Instead, it's an ace on the turn. No reprieve for the chip leader, who may not be the leader much longer unless he can find a 4 and claim glory. No, it's the 7. The 9 kicker does play. And all of a sudden, reversal of fate and fortune here in the 15K.
Things escalated oh so quickly with those hands. And the ace-9 just has to call off given the reshove from Yuju Wang, but the ace-4, I don't blame him, because in heads up, you got to think the ace is usually good. It was a little excessive, but, you know,
Well,
heads up is high variance.
But this is what I was going to ask you. If we were playing the honest pay jump, which was $407,000, 1.1 scheduled to go to the winner, 693 to second place. Of course, the deal, 975 locked up by Wang, 778 by Hongjun Zhao. You think that pot plays out the same way? Or it's because they've had a save and they've, you know, made a deal?
Right. I don't know the answer to that question, but I will say he's more likely to go with the ace-4 in that spot because of the deal. Because I think it's very reasonable for him to have just flatted ace-4 pre off of the 28 big blinds or so that he had.
You know, it's one of those where there's plenty of hands that you would anticipate would simply raise fold. Maybe they would raise and call off, and the ace high would be good. I don't know. King queen suited specifically,
I just
something
think
in that
there
neighborhood.
wasn't enough data points in his heads-up match for him to confidently reshove at that moment. Like if you see Hong Jun-Zhao like raise any 2 on every button, sure, it's printing money for him to reshove. But they just started heads up. Yeah, he just needs to continue to chip. And it is 5s versus jacks. Yuju Wong, he's going to be back in it.
Oh, he's going to beat this all-in into the pot once he realizes he's paired. Oh, wow. Look at that.
That's confidence.
Feeling swaggy. And 24.2 rates to go his way. A 4-1 favorite. Boy, you could see how important that was to his confidence. He was so tired of losing pot after pot, winning a tiny one here and there. It was the ace-4, ace-9 collision that put him in this spot. Might the jacks versus 5s restore some order? It sure looks that way on a king 8-8 board. Turn.
Not quite.
Too close for comfort, it would seem, for Yuju Wang. Just needs to fade the 2-outer. And he does it.
吓死我了！我他妈拿出来我都看到两面了，他从我这个角度看到了两面。
So I don't know if you caught the gesture once more from the guy in the red jacket on the rail. Just kind of, hey,
You got
easy,
this.
you got this, play your game. There he is. As the rail begins to fill out.
I mean, he's very well in contention now with 24 big blinds versus the 52. Plenty of playability now. Not just a shove fest pre. But you know, Hong Jun-Zhao doesn't look shaken.
I mean, he's still got a better than 2-1 chip lead. That hand sort of played itself.
He really hasn't deviated from what's been working for him throughout this tournament.
Quickly, are the pocket 5s a min-raise candidate?
Pre-flop?
Yep.
No,
Versus that stack depth, or do you just need to ask for all of it?
It's pretty much an always jam spot. Because you don't want to invite calls and then play it post-flop because obviously you don't flop the set very often. Let us raise those blinds.
Bad news for the shorter of the 2 stacks, which continues to be Yuju Wang, as dilution is experienced on the back end of the double.
Oh, 6s versus aces? This is back-to-back hands, and it's flip-flopped.
Oh boy. Well, the same sentiments that were enjoyed by Yuju Wang moments ago en route to the double-up are those which course through the veins of Hong Jun-Zhao. He looks completely unfazed.
可以推啊，多了吗？
Huge cooler.
Yuju can't believe just when he thought maybe the wind had filled his sails.
Can you find a 6? Oh.
Not only can he not find the 6, but Hong Jun-Zhao has found the ace. runner quads is the only way. It only happens 1 in roughly 990 times, and this ain't going to be one of them. So with that turn, Hong Junjiao secures victory at his second ever Triton Festival in his second ever event. Wearing the smile, brimming with pride, and bubbling over with payout. $818,000 in total after the deal was struck. Nothing to hang your head about, Mr. Wong. You ended up in second with more cash. $975,000, just shy, of course, of the 7-figure payout that our champion was supposed to make. He looked great in the process, referring to both the poker and the look. And I certainly hope that we haven't seen the last of either of those two gentlemen, both in this festival and future Triton events. Showing respect to one another, sportsmanship.
I'm taking a photo.
Great to see it, Randy. You know, for the pros, it can feel like another day at the office. For these two guys, it's a moment they won't soon forget.
This has to be the most memorable moment for both of these poker players in their career. It's going to be Hong Junjiao that gets to hold that Triton title.
How sweet it is. That is rarefied air. Elite company. And an earned accolade. Enjoy it, Mr. Zhao. Seldom do we see a smaller number at the top of the leaderboard than second place, but that's exactly what the deal that these two struck created here. Handsome pickups for both parties.